a dog in the street.
Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Hey, it's our friend Darren Doogie Wolfson from the 5 Eyewitness News Sports Department. There he is. We're going to talk job security here. We're just asking some questions. We're going to talk job security.
Am I in trouble? Are you firing me?
Well, the shrapnel could spread. Okay, we'll see. I think you're safe, but we'll see.
Okay, because I thought Judd was the worst sports reporter, not me.
Yeah, according to Twitter.
For what I saw on Twitter, Judd is the worst.
The worst sports reporter that random guy on Twitter has seen in quite some time, and I'm wondering how far back that timeline goes. Is it somewhere in the mid? Is it Shooter? I don't know which reporter he's.
1975.
Yeah.
Tommy Breyer didn't like him.
Yeah. Is it our guy John Shipley from the Pioneer Press? I love Ship, but who knows? Yeah. But shout out to Federated Insurance. Great partnership. We appreciate them for a number of years here on Purple Daily. And they are honored to be recognized by Forbes recently as one of America's best in-state employers for 2025 and by Newsweek as one of America's most admired workplaces for 2026. And these awards reflect Federated's long-standing commitment to their employees and the communities that they serve in Minnesota and in all 50 states. So if you're interested in finding out more about Federated's work culture and what makes that company so special over the course of 120 plus years, you can find out more at federatedinsurance.com/careers. Also, thank you to those of you who donated yesterday and all week long. It's Give to the Max week, and we're all animal people on this show. And so if you love animals and you love raising money for a good cause, go to scorenorth.com/donate. To get money to the Bond Between, which used to be Secondhand Hounds, but the Bond Between is where we are putting our power behind here. They have rescued over 30,000 dogs and cats over the years, and they build programs that help keep people with their pets, and they partner with local communities. So scorenorth.com/donate if you are a pet lover. We appreciate you in advance. So, all right, Dukes. We've kind of touched around this point. It's been a bad season, 4-6. There's been some games that could go either way. You're trying to develop a quarterback, but there seems to have been some miscalculation about roster and quarterback here. Not that quarterback can't become a franchise guy at some point. There's still a road to be walked down. But do you think, whose jobs are in jeopardy right now? Do you think is there going to be accountability if the Vikings finish 6 or 7 wins on the season?
All right, so let's go hierarchy. Okay, so the Wilfs own the team. Andrew Miller, Chief Operating Officer, year 7. The Wilfs think the world of Andrew Miller. Don't sense, at least from a business standpoint too, the business is in a very good spot. Andrew Miller, from everything I can gather, I don't think Andrew Miller is in any trouble. The Wilfs still think the world of Kevin O'Connell. We know this. If the Vikings somehow fired Kevin O'Connell, he would have another job. Snap of the fingers. Kevin O'Connell isn't going anywhere. Okay, so then we go general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Signs a lucrative multi-year extension. When was that? Late May, right around Memorial Day, believed to be 4 years, mirroring the 4-year deal he signed when he came here in the first place. Under him, Ryan Grigson, Demetrius Washington promoted in June, both given the title of assistant general manager. I don't know if anybody's in trouble, Phil. Now, if it really, really spirals out of control, because I get it. There has to be a fall person, right? We think about the Twins 2 years ago, right? The hitting coach. Somebody had to be a fall guy. Thad Levine had to be a fall guy, right? But there has to be, with all the finger pointing that will inevitably take place in January, that somebody's head has to inevitably roll. I don't know if it's anybody of any significance. I still wonder if Josh McCown gets elevated by some team to be a play caller. Keenan McCardle, wide receivers coach, knocking on the door of becoming a play caller. So maybe one of their assistant coaches leaves for a better opportunity. Could they bring in a consultant? One of these former GMs, a Trent Baalke, not suggesting Trent specifically, although he does have Minnesota ties, Bemidji State, but somebody of that ilk to maybe further help? I mean, Ryan Grigson is sort of that, but do you bring in some front office help in some sort of consultant role? Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Like, if it gets to 7 victories, so they win 3 more games, are heads rolling? I don't know. Like, Judd, I heard you and Royce going back and forth, and I get it. Like, inevitably, normally a head does roll, but I don't sense that a head would roll. Do I think there would be some interesting conversations? Do I think there already are some interesting conversations? Absolutely. I think the Wilfs are asking some really hard questions. When you think about all the money the Wilfs invested in March, what, about $250 million?
Yep.
Have any of those free agents hit outside of Eric Wilson on a pretty minimal, all things considered, 1-year deal? Have any of those free agents hit? Even investing in Byron Murphy Jr., giving him all the money. You re-sign him. Theo Jackson, Harrison Smith, right? Even with a pay cut, right? You say, hey, Harry still has some good football left in him. So you invested all this money in March. None of these guys outside of Eric Wilson have truly hit. Then you look at the draft class from April. Outside of Donovan Jackson, the other guys, I felt can go up and down the list. I still think Ingram Dawkins has a bright future. But you look at those other draft picks, none of them outside of Jackson have hit. So there are some interesting conversations that are going to take place in January. But I'm not sure at this point that any head rolls.
With potentially up to 10 or more draft picks, I don't see how you can allow the process to continue to play out, though, how it is. I mean, if that means telling Kwesi, hey, Grigson's not doing it. Sorry, he's gone. Like, I don't see how can the Wilfs look at this? And then you just brought up the best point, too, which is if you're the Wilfs, are you going to sit there after you were sold on this free agent class is going to make up for our draft problems? What we have done is we have outsmarted a whole system, and you've spent a ton of money, and that doesn't work. The other thing we are not taking into account is the amount of finger pointing that it will go on in that building. And if you are, let's say just hypothetically, you're the head coach and you're predisposed not to necessarily like or agree with some of the people from the pro personnel side, from the football ops side, who are making decisions, and you talk to the Wilfs on a regular basis, it's a heck of a time to say, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Ziggy, I wouldn't have done that. I'm not sure about that. So I think that this is ripe for some type of head to roll that might not be Kwesi, but might be a substantial one. And to me, the easiest one, just send him away with a going away gift, is Grigson.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if a head does roll, it's not the head coach, right?
No,
it's somebody in the front office. I just wonder if it's more along the lines of bringing in help. I'm with you. They clearly need draft help, right? I mean, we're talking nearly 30 draft picks under Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah's leadership. And outside of Jordan Addison, and we can even debate that one, and hey, Donovan Jackson has been good, right? But, like, how many of those draft picks can you say, yeah, they hit on that draft pick? I mean, 2, 3, like, it's not many, right? Is it Addison and Jackson? Is there anyone else where you can say that draft pick has hit? They certainly have hit on some undrafted free agents. Heck, Miles Price right now. I'd love to see them use Miles Price on offense. Is there a role for Miles Price on offense, right? So they've hit on some of these UDFAs, okay? But yes. So I'm with you. With all these draft picks, Judd, yes. But I think it's more along the lines of bringing in help, not necessarily firing somebody.
Yeah, in terms of, so they've drafted 10 first, second, or third round picks since 2022, and Addison and Donovan Jackson are the only two that are for sure hits. Dallas Turner, we'll see. J.J. McCarthy, we'll see. Mekhi Blackman, a hit for the Colts now, and then some other guys. Miles Price, let's go down that hole for a second here. I know it's early. We're only halfway through his rookie season. He has shown some major flashes of explosiveness as a return man. I'm going to shine the spotlight. If I'm playing the role of the Wilfs here again, the Wilves, multiple of them, the Wilves. And I love Kevin. I'm not firing Kevin, but I'd love to know, would a more creative play caller have found a way with a sort of toiling offense to mix in Miles Price with a couple different gadget plays? A little jet sweep action, pitch the ball forward so it's a pass. If it fumbles, it's not a big deal. I mean, you're telling me there's no room at all for a little Miles Price, getting him the ball in some space?
Well, I do think there is a role, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see it at some point. May not be as soon as this Sunday, but before the end of the season. I'll tell you what, too. Like, you bring up the name Mekhi Blackmon. I'm watching Nahshon Wright, make some plays for the Bears. Like, was that a misidentification? Wright was here. Blackmon was here. There's so many questions to be asked as you do the post-mortem on this season when you're the Wilfs having these conversations with the front office. The more I think about it, maybe a head would roll, not Kwesi, but somebody under him. I guess I wouldn't be overly surprised. I still think you bring in more help. Like, money's not an issue. The Wilfs are willing to spend. So bring in some help, not necessarily letting somebody go.
But don't you have questions then? So let's say, to your point, Duke, you bring in a GM, a former GM to help out. Okay. Like, what's Grigson's role then? Like, I don't want him talking. So, like, now I don't.
the disdain Judd has for Ryan Grigson.
I'm with Judd.
But like, I don't want you like I don't want your ideas then. Clearly your ideas are not working. So like, am I going to continue to employ you to help you learn for your next job? So like, that's my thing is I don't want to be paying a lot to people that aren't. And look, I mean, I do think Kwesi is a lot more on the chopping block than O'Connell right now.
Yes.
And
I mean, not even close, right? If it's one or the other.
It's not. Yeah.
Clearly.
It's exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blowout.
Exactly.
Clearly it would be Kwesi.
But my point is, I'm not willing to absolve him. Like, okay, I get it. He's an outside the box hire. He's not a football guy. But at the end of the day, you know, this is your process. Like you're picking and choosing. And here's my other problem then. If I say, okay, we're going to fire Grigson and we're going to give you another bite at the proverbial apple here, do I trust you to get the right person? Like, this is my problem is, and this is where the Wilfs sort of screwed up, I think, in the Spielman Zimmer at the end of that era. And they sort of lost touch. Like, they clearly said, we didn't know that the two weren't talking for a year or something like that. So yes, you own the team. Yes, I appreciate the fact that you're major fans and that you don't try to get involved in day-to-day football decisions. But there does come a place where you need to get involved again. Like, the end of the last couple of years of Spielman and Zim went really wrong, in part because of negligence by the Wilfs, which I would have hoped that they would have learned from, that is not a great option. I don't want you making decisions, but I also don't want you coming to me and saying, oh, I didn't know. Those two didn't talk for a year plus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sense that Kwesi and Kevin.
No, I'm saying
that sort of
pay
situation
attention
right now. But sure,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. That last year, Zimmer and Spielman. Hey, how much just miscalculation happened? Guilty as charged, by the way, right? But internally, when I think about externally, like, how often is Vegas wrong? Preseason over/under win total 8.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's realistic they get
Guilty
somewhere in that neighborhood. Not over. I mean, I think it's a very, very long shot to get to 9 victories, but could they win 4 more? Washington, New York, even winning at Dallas, like, could they find a way to get to 8? I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, Judd, again, alluding to the conversation you had with Royce, you're not wrong. I mean, that Philadelphia game could have been won. The Baltimore game could have been won. Chicago on Sunday could have been won. Now, hey, some of these wins could have gone the other way. Week 1, you think about the Browns game easily could have gone the other way. The Lions game, I guess, perhaps could have gone the other way, but they could still get to 8 victories. So if it's 8, is Ryan Grigson's head rolling?
I have actually kind of a bigger question with a couple names that have been brought up here. I want to pose something that I know it's not reckless speculation Thursday here, but it's highly
The
speculative.
lifestyle, daily.
It is, yeah. After Doogie tells us about how many pounds he's down thanks to Awaken 180.
Well, much like Judd Zolgad's hot takes, my leaves falling, it's never ending, all right? But guess what? I have a ton of stamina. As soon as I wrap up with you guys, I'm going outside for like round 6 of picking up leaves. It's just, it won't stop, right? But I have the energy. I have the stamina to pick up the leaves thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. The website is awaken180weightloss.com. It's a very easy plan to follow. You eat and you lose weight. There's no calorie restrictions. There's no medications that are necessary. I'm literally eating to lose weight with Awaken 180, and I love it. My coach Patrick lays out my daily plan. I follow the plan. Their chocolate pudding is fantastic. The protein shakes, chocolate, vanilla, coffee flavored, to die for. I love them. It's a very easy plan to follow. Heck, it's a lifestyle change in many ways. Awaken 180 Weight Loss has been doing this for over a decade with proven results. They know what they are doing. I'm down multiple pant sizes. I've got the extra notch on the belt. I am feeling good. Schedule your free consultation, free, at awaken180weightloss.com. The website is awaken180weightloss.com, or you can call them 1-844-346-1800, 1-844-346-1800. That's Awaken 180 Weight Loss, awaken180weightloss.com.
So, on Spielman for a second, just follow me here. Hear me out on this. The Wilfs lost a little touch with the organization a few years ago, and they come back, and mommy and daddy have not only been fighting, but they have not been speaking to each other. And what is happening here? I go away. I go back to New Jersey and handle some real estate business for a few months, and this is like you guys have nuked the relationship. And at first it felt like Zimmer was going to get fired, but Spielman's always been a Wilf guy, and they're going to let. I think Spielman thought he was walking in that morning, per Doogie's report, and we're gonna say goodbye to Mike Zimmer and then moved on a new path, and it turned out to be like The Departed or something, where actually, Rick, you're fired too, buddy. But what's interesting is, as you look back here, they've butchered the draft for the most part for 4 years. Spielman, not that he was perfect in drafts, Spielman regularly nailed first and second round high-level talent picks. In fact, the two drafts before he was fired, 2020 and 2021, and then boom, you're gone, Kwesi's in here. These are just some of the players that Rick Spielman drafted in those last 2 years. Christian Darrisaw, Cam Bynum, Justin Jefferson, Blake Brandel, your starting center who's been pretty damn good right now. Mm-hmm. Josh Metellus, KJ Osborne. There's a couple other role players in there too. Not perfect, but whoa, okay. Really high-level talent and players that went on to land huge money in their second contract.
Yeah, he also let
right?
go Metellus soon thereafter, right? Then they brought back Metellus. But yes, still, he did draft Josh Metellus, yes. He hit on a number of guys. You can even go back further, right? Brian O'Neill. We can go up and down the list.
But the criticism of him, rightfully so, and even his own admission after he got fired, he went on some podcasts and said, yeah, my biggest regret is I was never able to figure out quarterback. Mm-hmm. If you look back, a guy who's pretty adept at drafting high-end talent, but has a hole in his quarterback game, partnered with Kevin O'Connell, would that have been a better partnership than the current one we've seen the last 4 years, front office and Kevin O'Connell?
Well, maybe, but here's the issue. What are the chances that Rick Spielman would have decided to hire Kevin O'Connell? Now, maybe Andrew Miller would have won out. Maybe the COO would have overruled Rick Spielman and said, hey, this guy is the next star. We've identified him. He's the real deal. I don't care what you say. We are hiring Kevin O'Connell, and you figure it out. Nice enough guy. You can sit down and meet with him, right, before we make this official. Get to know him. Very easy guy to like. But I don't know if Rick had a big say. I mean, I don't know, Judd. Do you think I'm nuts? I don't think Rick Spielman would have chosen Kevin O'Connell.
No. What's interesting is, I'll throw you guys a curveball.
Oh.
Would Rick Spielman have chosen Jim Harbaugh? Now,
that's possible.
Now, I do think you're right. I think it was
more so, than KOC. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I do think that you're correct. I do think Andrew Miller and the Wilfs had a huge say. Like, I think they are the ones that said, okay, the Harbaugh thing might be tricky. We're coming off Zimmer. Harbaugh's
tricky to win a bunch of games every year.
But I do think that if Spielman had Kevin O'Connell and Jim Harbaugh sitting in front of him, I think he picks Harbaugh.
Oh, I think he picks Harbaugh. Yeah, I do. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's no hesitation, no stuttering in my voice when I suggest that.
No wavering.
Knowing Rick well enough. Yeah, I mean, Rick picks Jim over over KOC.
Okay, then right now, would you rather have where would they be at, or would you rather have a Spielman Harbaugh front office coaching situation or a Kwesi Kevin O'Connell? I think they'd be in a better position, or maybe would have made a deeper run with Rick Spielman and Jim Harbaugh as the tandem. They've won 13 and 14 games with Kwesi and KOC, so it's the business has been pretty good.
Case to be made.
Yeah,
Case to be made that JJ McCarthy.
I don't know, though.
That JJ McCarthy is still the quarterback.
Harbaugh wouldn't have coached him for more than like 1 year as a backup. You know what I'm saying? Like Harbaugh came here in 2020, would have come here in 22.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's still
before winning a national championship with McCarthy, but he would have been available to be drafted. Yeah.
It is fascinating to think about, though, if they had gone Harbaugh, how the next few years play out. Like Sam Darnold, does he ever come here? What exactly would it have looked like if they had decided to go the Harbaugh route? Yeah. Very, very interesting to think about.
Yeah. Just a little reckless speculation.
I still think, though, I really do. I still think, in spite of the disappointment of right now, and to me, what will end in a non-playoff year, like I don't think they're making some sort of miraculous run the rest of the way to salvage the season to get in as a wild card. Like I think it's not happening, right? I'll play the percentage chance and say what, it's a 2% chance they make the playoffs. Okay, I'll take the 98%. They're not making the playoffs, but I still would bet long-term, at least on KOC. I get it, the resistance on the front office, the questions with the front office, but with KOC having a large enough voice, I still feel pretty darn good about the next handful of years with this franchise.
I think the only way O'Connell, because I agree completely, I think he is in zero trouble right now, okay?
He's in zero trouble, yes, correct.
Yeah,
I don't even think they're going to ask him to give up the play calling, and he's not giving up the play calling. Like, if you're thinking about a different play caller for the Vikings in 2026, I don't see that happen.
I think the only way that Kevin O'Connell gets in trouble is if he doubles down this offseason, says, we got to stick with McCarthy, I can make this work, and it doesn't work, and it's a colossal flop. Like, I think that's the only way that his seat gets hot, because I do not think his seat is hot right now. I think Kwesi's seat is hot, but if he doubles down and says we're going to come back with this kid as our starter, and I guarantee you it's going to work, and it doesn't work, I think that's the only way that the Wilfs would say what the hell happened there. But who knows?
Yeah, but he can't be that foolish, right? Like, you're going to bring in somebody
I know.
in March to at least create the illusion of some sort of legit competition, even if it's not a legit competition. Like, you're bringing in
David Copperfield?
I'm just saying, right?
Pull a quarterback from my
in
hat.
somebody, right? You have to. Even if McCarthy stars the rest of the year, you have to, based on what we've seen so far. I mean, what is the miss rate on McCarthy? Is it 22% of his passes have been off target? I mean, you think about that number, how ridiculous that is. We don't even know if J.J. McCarthy can stay healthy. That's still a concern. I know he said no excuses post-game on Sunday with the hand, but I can't help but wonder, all those misses on Sunday, was the hand part of that? So with durability questions, you have to bring in a viable backup / 1B to create some sort of competition in July and August.
Yeah. Yep. No, this is all, man, there's just a lot of fodder here, and JJ can help shape the direction of maybe even some people's jobs, but for sure the direction of the franchise by just playing a lot better down the stretch. If he doesn't, there's going to be some big time questions here, even going into this offseason. But Dukes, any other things? What we have Thursday to talk more Vikings, and we'll get injury reports, but anything else in your bag you want to hit on here before we say goodbye?
Not necessarily. I mean, I was in the locker room on Monday. I mean, it was nearly a ghost town, but we ended up chatting briefly with Donovan Jackson, with Adam Thielen. Jonathan Grenard turned down an interview, said, hey, I'll talk later in the week, but it seems like he's in a pretty good spot. So continuing to say that that's a short-term injury. When we spoke either in this space last Tuesday, or maybe it was more so Thursday morning, but we said, hey, Grenard, long shot to play against the Bears, but short-term. Well, it continues to be that situation. So Grenard being back here this month, if it's not the Packers game, then the Seahawks game, but certainly the Packers game is in play. And hey, Ryan Kelly is coming back. Saw him briefly in the locker room on Monday. It may be as soon as this week. I mean, it's just a matter of getting the stamina back, the conditioning back. But like before this month is over, Ryan Kelly returning We can debate whether that makes any logical sense, but Ryan Kelly will return to this football team.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a family decision. It's a team decision, doctors, everyone. So,
Sure. I mean, many professionals, including those outside the building, have consulted here, right? So he has been given a ton of information. And he has been cleared to return. The family, presumably, I mean, I guess I don't know for sure, but enough people are on board that, it's going to happen. And hopefully he's fine for the rest of the year.
Darren Doogie Wolfson from the 5 Eyewitness News Sports Department. All right, Dukes. Enjoy your leaf raking.
I'm going right now.
God.
Yeah. Little
Least favorite chore.
But yes.
Least favorite chore. Not even close.
All right.
Maybe fold some laundry after. It'd be great. All right, there he is, Darren Doogie Wolfson here on this Purple Daily. We'll see you guys for some Write That Down. And if you missed the State of the Vikings episode, check that out as well.